You should have got a better bed, better for your head, better heads need shut eye.
Well, we're at Sony's business booth here at E3 and we're talking to Rex here. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. How are you feeling at the end of E3?
Tired, but yeah, really happy with how it's gone. Yeah.
Well, obviously we're here to talk about Tearaway. What have you shown at E3 today? Or what have you been showing this week, in fact?
So we've been showing off the first region of the game, which is called Valley Fold. It's kind of quite a pleasant green area. A lot of it's based on kind of English folklore and folk tales, and I'm really showing off like how you can have all kinds of like strange interactions with this environment. The way that you can push your fingers up, like up through the floor, and like unpeel sections like a pop-up book style. Really like bringing all the paper world to life.
We first got to see this sort of last year. I'm just interested to know, I mean, where were you guys at development at that point? Was that really just like the first initial demo you had done of the game and its capabilities?
Yeah, so at that point it's very much like, because the game came out of, I mean, there was the initial idea, we wanted to make something like so fitting for Vita, like utilize all of the features, and we were kind of in the like later stages of like past game jam, you know, where we got all of the like novel interactions and we were like gluing them all together and like building like a really cohesive adventure for you to go on. And then since then we've really been like fleshing out that journey and what the little messenger character, what all the things that they're going to experience along the way. Obviously it's like the first time that we've concentrated on like quite a story-led game. So you know, there's lots of stuff that we've been learning and finding out along that on our own journey to create the journey.
I was going to say that given obviously a little bit of planning and everything like that, I mean, has this reinvigorated you? Because there's all these new ideas and certainly using the Vita as the platform of choice? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, with PS3, you know, we had loads of new stuff to explore and that bore out LBP. And with Vita, with this, you know, we got the Vita, so we just wanted to go like all in with what we could do with that. So, you know, just like totally changed the context of what we were creating, and we really wanted to like play around with the idea of what is a game, what does it mean to be like a handheld game, you know, the way that the game is like in your hands and you're holding it and affecting it that way, and just bring in like more of the player's world into the game world, and then in a crazy way using the papercraft stuff and the stuff you print out, then you can take the game out into the real world as well.
Must be a lot of fun just experimenting and researching this.
Yeah, no, we've enjoyed ourselves. Yeah, a lot of paper cuts, but you know, apart from that.
Well, given you guys you have that heavy emphasis on creationism, and I guess with this it's more about sort of wrapping up and changing all. Will you guys consider yourselves more sort of artists than developers?
I mean, there's a lot of technology that goes on behind, you know, the arts. I mean, as always, like trying to do what looks like really simple is like really complex. Like making this world actually tactile and squash and bend and fold is like an enormous technical achievement to make it all happen. But ultimately, because the tools that we have are really well realized, it just means that anyone on the team can kind of get involved and really build stuff. So some of our coders on the team have just built beautiful areas of scenery. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, what I really like about paper and photography as well, which is another thing that we play on a lot, is the fact that anyone can cut out a piece of paper and anyone can take a photo and feel like they've made a creative choice, and you know, really trying to use the game as like a jumping off point to just be more creative.
What sort of, with you mentioned the opening level, sort of like English and stuff like that, but I mean, what else is where from there is the structure of the game going? I mean, do you sort of like dollop little reference points, little inspirations across each of the stages?
Yeah, I mean, the kind of middle section is the more dangerous, challenging, like darker, like sort of middle act. And then towards the end of the game, you really start to get the feel that the entire world is like unraveling, and we really play with the fact that you're kind of slipping outside of the game world, and it's all kind of, well, just anything goes basically in those areas. And I think people are going to be like, what is going on here? It's yeah.
emotional connection between the player and the character, I mean, is that mainly and chiefly through the touchpad and such? Or, I mean, how does that play out?
Well, I mean, as it's a Vita, and we've got the twin sticks and the buttons. You know, have really like snappy gameplay. Want to make sure it's like really nice to control the character and really twitch gameplay. But also, yeah, we really want to get this like emotional bond that as they're going on this journey all the time, they're looking up at the horizon and they're seeing the sun up there. And the sun's got a giant hole ripped in it, and it's your face like peeking in, and they're trying to get to you and like looking up at you, and they're not sure like what kind of being you are up there, and you know, and they're sort of noticing the way that you're manipulating the landscape around them, and you know, there's this kind of intriguing bond that connects the two of you together. They've got something they want to tell you, and you can't understand it until they reach you at the end. So, yeah.
Where are you guys in terms of development right now?
We're pretty close to the end, so we're launching at the end of October. So we've still got, you know, we've got a busy few weeks ahead. Yeah, but we're pretty close now.
Has something sort of just basically allowed you guys just to keep tinkering away at this until you feel satisfied? I mean, do you guys feel that pressure deadline, or has it been, look, we're just enjoying what we're doing and it'll be ready when it's ready?
Well, as a team, we tend to have like quite a long like pre-production period where we're just figuring out all of the ideas and making sure that we've got something like really fun at its core, and then we have a much shorter like end period where everything is like fully realized, and it's just a case of like really just gluing it all together, which is definitely what we're doing at the moment.
Feedback, I mean, what sort of feedback are you looking to take from players? I mean, given that it's a game that would entertain kids as much as adults, I mean, does that then make you focus on groups, a wider range of people for feedback?
What, as in like user testing kind of stuff? Not really. I mean, we try and, because our games are like very personal, we're a very small team, and we really, the focus group is ourselves. If we're like really happy with it, then you know we kind of hope that the rest of the world will be. I mean, it's been quite interesting with the papercraft stuff to make sure that the plans that you can make yourself are achievable by the youngest age range. So we're working with a very talented writer who has created loads of papercraft books in the past, so that we can really make sure that it's, you know, everything is achievable by like the youngest age all the way up.
Okay, well listen, thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Best of luck with the rest of the project.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Cheers.